Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining from the world. My name is Kabiru Muhammad Aliu. I'll be the host for today's webinar. We're very grateful to have you on the call today, and we hope that you will take some things away from this webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about on-premise and on the cloud, revolutionizing customer journey management with HoduCC Omni Channel Software, right? So this is a very important topic to discuss today, and we're very excited to have a host of panelists that would help us as well talk about this particular topic today. Again, my name is Kabiru Muhammad Aliu. Welcome, and we hope that you are keeping safe and staying well, and making sure that you are looking at how to continue to foster and grow your businesses, also how to grow your individual technical and technology experiences as well. So again, welcome. I would now be making a few introductions. All right, I will now be making a few introductions in terms of who we have partnered with today. We have partnered with Cedarview, HoduSoft, and Virtual Formatics. Now, Cedarview is a communication company, and they have collective experience that spans over 100 years in deployment of telecoms and IT networks. As you can understand, the value that they bring on the table as we discuss the contact center solution and how do we make sure that customer journey is revolutionized. So again, welcome. Now, introducing HoduSoft, as the catchword says, redefine communication. Their specialization is on communication, unified communication, contact center, and a number of solutions. They started in 2015, and they have a dedicated approach towards developing world-class products, right? And they are leading in VoIP solutions, and they have a number of products that we're going to be talking about today. So we also have Virtual Formatics. So Virtual Formatics is a company that is a system engineering company, right? That is there to assist you with any of your deployment objectives. Now today, this webinar is brought to us by the Learning Space, right? So the Learning Space is a company of Transform Africa, and it's really designed and set up to provide world-class knowledge transfer, world-class trainings and certifications. So if you want to get in touch with us throughout the webinar today, we're going to be sharing our social media handles and other handles. Again, thank you for joining the webinar today, and we look forward to having an exciting discussion with you today on this particular topic. Now, allow me to introduce a few of our panelists, right? We have Mr. Nirav Shuta. He's a team lead pre-sales HoduSoft. He has a number of experience ranging from pre-sales, and he has a background in computer engineering and a master's in network engineering. He's very strong. His strong skills are in technical knowledge across computer architecture, and we'll be hearing from him during the course of the panel discussion, just to hear his views and his insights and his experiences of deploying HoduSoft across the world. We also have Mr. Wale. Mr. Wale is the managing director of Cedarview Communication Limited, and he's also going to be giving us some insight during the course of the webinar. We have Peace Inform. So Peace Inform is a network executive for Virtual Formatics. She will be taking us through the demo of the HoduSoft platform, just to get a feel, around some of the benefits of the HoduSoft platform. And then we have Titi as well. She's the product executive for Virtual Formatics. She's also going to be discussing with us today on this unique topic. Now, why are we here? We are here to discuss on-premise or on the cloud, revolutionize customer journey management with HoduCC Omni Channel Software. Now, one thing that is very important to note really is that customers are the center of what we do. Regardless of where you find yourself in the spectrum of engagement, the customer is really the peak of why we do, and the customer defines and drives some of the innovations that we bring to light. So basically, the customer centricity is very important. And how would HoduCC Omnichannel Software, support that journey, and the fact that the flexibility also that the platform also brings. So please feel free to engage us during the course of the webinar. You can chat your questions in the Q&A section of the webinar, of the platform. We would try our best to answer as many questions as possible. We will try our best to answer as many questions as possible. However, if you need to contact us, we will provide you with further details. It's going to be an exciting session because we're going to take some polls, and at the end of the webinar, we would kindly request that you fill the survey at the end of the webinar as well, so that we can further assist you. Again, welcome, and we are happy for you to be here today with us talking about this important topic. Again, I'm just going to introduce myself again. My name is Kabiru Mohammed Aliu. I'm the founder for Transform Africa, and we are very, very grateful for you to be here today. So allow me to take you through a very short introduction of the HoduSoft solution, especially how it addresses the questions that we are trying to answer today, right? We want to revolutionize customer journey, right? That is what we are saying, right? That is what we are trying to discuss today. And the interesting thing about HoduSoft is the positioning of their value in line with the topic that we're discussing today, right? The very out of the box, the dedicated team, they have simplified the platform in such a way that the customer can have a better experience using the product. And not just the customer, customers, right? Using the platform must have a good experience, because the reason why you call a contact center, because you want to get help, right? You want to get help. You want a contact center that is proactive, right, to your request. We want a contact center that is flexible, right? Flexible, flexible in the use of the platform. So this is what we are talking about, and the positioning of the solution HoduSoft really is at the center of this engagement, right? The engagement of the customer journey, and their values is aligned, towards this particular discussion today. And I just thought, to share that as the to get our conversation going. HoduSoft have a number of products, right? They have the enterprise engagement software, which is the Hodu PBX, all right? They have the Hodu BS, which is the brand promotion software. They also have the Hodu Conference, which is your video conferencing. You can do your real-time collaboration from there. And then we have the Hodu Contact Center for the customer engagement, which is really what we're going to be talking about today, right? Very, very important, right? So now moving on to really just positioning the unique selling point really is around the fact that you have unlimited tenants, unlimited agents, and unlimited concurrent calls. Very powerful, because you want your contact center to be able to scale and grow, right? So that means you should be able to allow for as many agents as possible, right? If you are a 24/7 contact center, you want your agents to have the ability to work in shifts. You want your agent to have the flexibility to be able to deal with omni-channel requests, right? That comes into the contact center, right? Also tenants as well, right? You want to then be able to allow for allow for what they call it, allow for multi-tenancy, so the platform gives you multi-tenancy. So you can create for your organization, you can create various tenancy to service your unique requirements, and also your concurrent calling. This is the unique selling point, right? And it really talks to the topic today, right? It really speaks to the topics today. And let's talk about some of the industry problems, right? Very, very important. Just to note, a few of the industry problems, right? You have 90% of the consumer are saying that they are having poor customer experiences, right? And they want to also be able to get support from a mobile perspective, because customers are now on the go. They are now on the move. They are, they travel. So they want that flexibility when they are engaging with the contact center. Certainly, they might not only be able to engage from a voice perspective, so they want the omni-channel experience. They can chat. They could email. They could contact the contact center using multiple options, right? Another 72% of the customer expects, right, response. Response is very, very important. Very, very important response, because one of the things that that is important in a contact center is response. Because it's frustrating if you are trying to get help and you are not getting the feedback or the help that you require from a customer engagement perspective, right? So very, very important, to talk about this. Also, furthermore, some of the clients want to be assisted immediately, right? There's a 21%, right? Or if we approximate to around about 22%, right? Between the ages of 35 to 44, they want to be attended to immediately. That means this is money on the table. This is money that you might lose if you are not able to respond to them immediately, right? That means they'll go somewhere else and buy somewhere else, right? So this is a group to look at. 50% of all the age group, can bear with the 24 hours, response and contact, while the remaining 25%, right, are looking at immediate 1 hour type response, right? So you can see that the responses that are required are getting more and more. By the way, as well, just to highlight as well, what is the composition of the Hodu contact center, right? You have your calling engine, right? You have your databases, you have your language, and then you have your web server, right? So this is the makeup or the software makeup of the solution. But why omni-channel? Why omni-channel, right? You have your single channel, right? Which where you have almost like your one-to-one type contacts, type contact, where you can only contact the contact center via the telephone, and that is pretty much it, right? You don't have the options, right? And the engagement is almost like you would send and then you would wait for response, right? So the real-time feel is not there. You now have the multi-channel, right? The multi-channel, which still have maybe now you are combining mobile, combining desktop, combining on-prem, but still, right, you still have some limitations, right? You then have the cross-channel, where you are able to communicate across multiple platforms, and then you now have the omni-channel, where you can do real-time cross-directional communication, right? You can be chatting, right, and you can be sharing your screen. You can be, so you can multitask, right? You can make sure that the client gets or the customer gets real-time experience about your contact center, right? So what is the components of this omni-channel, right? You have the chat, right? You have the email. There is a scenario where you are on the call with the client, right? On the call with the client, on the voice inbound call, right? But you want to chat like an email address, or you want to chat a website or your URL. You should be able to combine multiple channels while you are attending to that customer. I think that is one of the powerful things about the omni-channel thing, right? Omni-channel idea. SMS, social media, very important as well. You know, ability for you to log a call via the social media and somebody picks it up and deals with it. Some customers, some organizations are now fully using your Twitter or your Facebook to field complaints or to field clients requests, right? So very, very important. So some of the important thing to note as well is your web RTC, right? Which is your real-time communication. So with the Hudo contact center, it comes inbuilt with the web RTC, meaning that your engagement with the platform becomes easier. That means you could have your communication via your voice and your video and your data communication via the web, right? Meaning that you don't necessarily need to install an application that is going to be a bit heavy. You can, of course, have a combination of all that, but this gives you more flexibility and more agility in terms of contacting the platform or contacting the contact center, right? You then have your voice response, right? Your interactive voice response, right? At multi-level, meaning that you are able to look at languages. You know, some contact center, when you call them, they have the ability to speak to engage you from a voice perspective, from a different language. Select one for English, select two for Hausa or Yoruba or any of the African Swahili or whatever African language that you probably want to then inbuild into it. So it is more interactive, it is more intelligent. And with artificial intelligence, you could build, a whole lot in there. You could build the machine learning so that you begin to understand your customers, understand how they contact you, and then be able to present to them, right, the solutions or services that they would need, from that perspective. Now, just looking at some of the advanced features, right? We have the advanced dialers, right? You have auto dialer, predictive dialer, progressive, so these are various options, right, for you to be able to engage, right? Engage with the platform, right? On this, I would like to talk about the skill-based mapping, right? This is very important because you might have a scenario where you have a VIP client, right? A very important client, right? That contacts your contact center. You might want to automatically route those VIP clients, right, to your level 3 resources, right? Meaning that to your highly skilled resources. So you could set up your platform to ensure that you have skill-based mapping, right? As the customer is calling, is going to the right team, right, that would attend to the call on first contact resolution, right? Because you don't want to be passed around. Okay, I'll pass you to this agent, I'll pass you to this person. You want to be able to deal with, you want to be able to, the customer to have a one-stop experience, right? From that perspective. So there's a whole lot of functionalities that you could look at, right, from that perspective. Now, remote agent is also another important concept as well, meaning that your agents now can work from anywhere in the world, right? They are not necessarily only desk bound. They must be on premises. They must be seated at a particular chair, at a particular table, to do their work. All they need is probably they need the soft phone connections and they are a very strong internet connectivity. And voila, they are able to what? They are able to begin to respond to clients, right? Clients' requests. So there's a whole lot, right? Automated call distribution, very important, right? Because you want to be able to deal with your overflows, right? So in a situation where you are having lots of influx of calls coming in, you need to be able to automatically distribute those calls, right? Have an overflow, and even switch to self-service as well, right? In the case of where there's a known issue. Let's say, for example, one of your services is down, the payment services is down, as an example, right? You might just want to have a self-service portal to then say, option to then say, for payment, we are having challenges with payment, but for payment, please click this to pay using this method, right? As an example, so that while you are fixing the engine, the payment engine, at least business is still going, right? So these are some of the functionalities that the platform provides. It has a whole lot of features, right? At your request, we can share with you the presentation, but there's a whole lot of features that we have been discussing, right? And that we will continue to elaborate to continue to address the problem, right? Or the question that we are trying to talk about today, which is, how do we revolutionize customer experience, right? Using the Contact Center Omni Channel software, right? Very important that we understand that the solution is quite robust, right? To be able to deal with a number of scenarios, right? There are different deployment methodology, right? That you can adopt. You can adopt an on-prem deployment. You can adopt a cloud deployment. You can adopt a combination of both, right? Which is where you have your multi deployment, right? Where you have your tenants on the cloud, some of your tenants on the cloud, and some of them on-prem, and then you are able to create a ring around all that. And you can also have redundancy and backup as well. Should in case your on-prem fails, you automatically route to your cloud instance, right? As an example, so that business continues. If you desire, a whole lot of fault tolerance, right? So now talking about some scenarios, right? Just to talk about some scenarios very, very quickly, is, as you can see, right, we have the scenario of the agents, right? The agents that are able to be on an IP phone, they are able to be on a web portal, and they're able to work from anywhere, right? And they're able to access the resources, right? The SMS call requests, the social media call requests, the chat call requests from a combined model, both from a cloud and both from an on-prem type model, right? So this also just gives the flexibility of the Contact Center solution, right? This is the scenario of the health industry, right? This is a use case of the health industry where the patients are contacting the contact center, and then the agents, right, the first line agents are able to then either the calls go to the first to the internal agent, right, or it is routed to the specialists, either the physicians, the orthopedic, the cancer specialists, right? So you can see that this is a interesting scenario, right, for the healthcare industry. Even it is actually relevant also for the COVID-19 scenario, right? As well, because people need to be able to call into a contact center. But what you want to do to optimize your contact center is that you want to make sure that majority of your requests or your calls coming in can be deviated into your chats, into your bots, into your email, so that you can free up your resources to be able to deal with your infrastructure or to deal with advanced issues, right? So you might also want to create like a self-service so that people can automatically do the things that they need to do, like reset a password or whatever the case might be, so that it frees up your resources to deal with major issues, right? This is a banking scenario as well. Customers making inquiry, customer making some complaints, customer chatting via chat, SMS, social media. Everything should be able to come into the contact center engine and then routed to the relevant agent or consultant that will deal with the particular request. So in summary, really, is that what we are saying here is that we are saying that with the HoduCC Omni Channel Contact Center, you are able to achieve, if you are thinking about setting up your own business, or if you have an existing business, or you also just want to learn about the contact center platform, or really the best practice when it comes to contact center and other related unified communication solution, right? We have a solution that can address this need, especially from what we are talking about. So I would like to stop at this point in time to take a short poll. We're just going to take a very short poll before we go into the demo session. My colleague Peace will take us through the demo. Thank you very much for listening, and hope you stay tuned for the rest of the session. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the participating in the poll. I would like to hand over now to Peace. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mohammed. And good morning, good afternoon, and to all the participants in the webinar, depending on where you're joining from. Mohammed has already introduced me. I'll be taking us through a quick walk through the demo platform of the HoduCC Omni Channel Contact Center solution. We'll just I'm just going to help us have an experience of how the food we eat when we call in, when we chat to the contact center, how it is being prepared, just for us to have a very good experience of the robustness and the agility of the HoduCC Omni Channel Contact Center solution. All right, here we are. I'm already logged on to the dashboard. This is a dashboard, and we're able to have all-round visibility of everything that is happening in this particular contact center. We're able to see everything on a single pane of glass. So I'll just for us to have, it's going to be a short demo. I'm not going to bore us with the in-depth technicalities, just for us to have a feel of different features that are available on the HoduCC Omni Channel Contact Center, and what we can do, the freedom it gives us to be able to program things that we want to achieve, so that we can achieve the customer experience that we're talking about here today. All right, so I'm on the dashboard right now, and I'm on the account, so I'll be taking us through the different features on this dashboard and what can actually be achieved with them. The first feature we are seeing there is the session. The session has to do with everything that is happening on the contact center. We can see that on the session we have 2/5, meaning that what this means is in this contact center there are 5 agents, but 2 are live. They are live. They are available. They are available to respond to queries, to respond to any messages that might come in, requests, inquiries that might come in from the customers that are trying to interact with the business. So the session there, 2/5 means 2 agents are available and can interact with the customers that will be calling in, chatting, and sending emails and all of that. But in the whole contact center, there are 5 overall, but 2 are available. The next feature after the session is the extension, and I'll just the extension are different. Just like if we can think back when we used to have the landlines, and you call into a company, and then you have to, maybe you want to speak with the administrative department. You know, the call is going to come in to the front desk first, and then the front desk is going to ask you where are you calling. So it's typically we can resonate in that manner, but just that we're not in this contact center solution, it's not going to be asking you who do you want to speak with and all of that. It intelligently is able to route to this extensions based on the skill set, as Mohammed rightly pointed out when he was doing his presentation. So I'll just want to click on the extension so we can see what is happening underneath. So I'll just click on the extension so we can have a feel of what that really is. Okay, so opening up this, we can see that there are various extensions that have been created. These extensions enables us to be able to rightly route the calls. You know, sometimes when you the calls or any of the communication that might come in, whether emails, based on the particular subject that is being requested. Like if a customer is asking for pricing, it should be able to route. It should be the system intelligently routes to the particular expert that is dealing on that. If there's delay in say deliveries, it will route to a particular extension. So it's based on this is to structure how the agents, the skill, based on the skill set that the agents are actually majoring on. Okay, so that will be that on the extension. That'll be that on the extension. So I'll be quickly moving on to the next feature on the dashboard, and that is we see DID there. The DID the DID, it's for internal routing. You know, when a customer calls in, that is the DID for short. It means direct inward dialing. So probably a call comes in, or a message, a chat, and probably a particular agent that's supposed to receive that query or that ticket is occupied with another customer. So it's inwardly now is able to the agent is able to route to another available agent without the customer knowing all of that. Okay, so that's about, so that's about internal routing of the calls without necessarily interrupting the flow of the interaction with the customer. And the next feature on after the DID, the dialing, is the queue. The queue is we might want to click on that to see. This is a demo platform, bear in mind, so that there might not be much details. I'm just giving us a feel of what is possible with the solution. Okay, so here we have the queue. Agents are able to log in requests that is not attended to immediately, so they can always attend to it, or probably route to, say, another level of resolving the query. So just for requests not to get forgotten and all of that, it's logged into the queue and attended to as the case may be. That's about the queue. So I'll quickly run through the next feature there. The next feature there is agents. Like we said when we were talking about the session, we saw 2 over 5 and meaning, and I told us that that means that the total of 5 agents. So I'll just click on this agent so we can see the agents that are available on the contact center. We can see the agents. We see the extensions that are assigned to them. We can see the client type, the type of device that they are using. We can see the agent's name and all of that. So we're able to see all of that, and we can also add a new agent from here. At the top right end of the screen, we can see an icon, add new. So we're not going to do that since we're just on a demo right now, so we're not going to do that. And but that is where we can add more agents. We can edit we can edit and all of that. We can delete agents from that particular feature as well. The next there is the team lead. We're not going to click on that. The team lead is like a supervisor that is overseeing the agents that are attached in a particular let's say, for example, there is a section of agents, a group of agents that attend to say placing others, for example. They will have those particular set of agents will have a team lead that supervises everything they do, and the team lead is able to also route calls with their own privilege levels, that they're able to do that. And if like that, they're just 5 agents in this contact center. Let's say if there are up to 100 agents, 200, 300, it's not going to just be one team lead. There might the contact center can have up to 10, 20 or more team leads, as the case may be. The next feature there is the IVR. The IVR is intelligent virtual response, voice response rather. Sometimes when we call into the contact center, we tend to hear a voice prompt telling us press 1 to do that, press 2 to speak with this. If you have other delay problem, press 3, and all of that. So that is what the interactive voice response does. And with the HoduCC omni-channel contact center solution, we are able to this IVR can actually be programmed, and different levels of it as well, so that is able to direct customers in routing and the exact extension that particular interaction is going to go through. The next is jobs. I won't be talking much on that, because that is what the agents, that's primarily about the agents. I'll just run through this camp. We have the call camp, the email camp, the chat camp, and the SMS camp. Those are campaigns. So what this means is that we don't just the agents don't just receive calls, receive emails, or chat or SMS. They can also send out call campaigns. They can for example, it's Independence Day, and probably the agents wants to call customers to wish them happy Independence Day and all of that. This can be done here. There's a new product announcement that they want customers to be aware of. They can program this, the call campaign. It can be a call campaign, it can be an email campaign. Sometimes we receive emails from brands that we have identified with. Probably we've bought from the brand, our bands and all of that. So this is typically how that is done. They shoot out those email campaigns, and we receive them, or from time to time they announce new product offerings, discounts, announcements, and all of that. It can come as chat campaign, as SMS campaign, or as social media campaigns on our social media platforms. The brands that we identify with, that we are customers or prospects with are able to also send out those communications to us. All right. The next there is IVR survey template. So we're able to, the solution also allows us to be able to create survey templates. Probably the IVR survey could be after a call is completed, after an interaction, the customer with the brand. There could be a survey or to find out if they were actually satisfied with the services of the agent that attended to them. So I'll just quickly, for want of time, I think I don't think I have much time to spend on the demo anymore. So I'll just run through the left-hand panel of the dashboard so we can see more things that we can do. Right now, we'll just click on the agent. So we just click on the agent under real time. I'll just click on that and see. All right, so yeah, we're able to see the agents, and we are seeing that probably the agents that were logged on, they have just gone offline, and we're seeing that all the agents right now they're offline. If they're online, if any of them logs in right now, it's the red we're seeing is going to be green, showing that that particular agent is online and ready to engage with the customers. And when the agents go on break, the red becomes amber. Okay, I'm seeing there's a particular agent that is trying to log in. Okay, yes, there's an agent that is online right now. The agent is online and waiting to receive interaction from the customers that might be trying to interface with the business. And there are other things. The agent just went on break, and we can see that it's now amber. It's now amber. So the agent has gone on break. Right now, when calls come in, or chat, or maybe social media interaction and all of that, it won't go to that particular agent, it will go to the agent that is available. All right, there are many other things. We can see the queue, the campaign. There are many other things that can be programmed. We can see underneath the when we go down under Omni Channel, we can see configuration. There are all lots that can be configured on the agent configuration, the campaign configuration, and all of that. So it's a very robust and agile solution that can help. And the beautiful thing is that we can customize this to fit the business based on what the focus of your business is all about. I hope we had a great time going through the demo, and I believe we appreciate what we're able to achieve with this wonderful omni-channel contact center solution, HoduCC. So that will be that with the demo, and I'll be handing over to Mohammed to continue with the webinar. I hope you had a great time going through the demo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peace, for that. Thanks for taking us through the platform, and thanks for showing us the robustness of the platform. So we are now going to be moving now into the panel discussions. We'll now be moving to the panel discussions shortly. Thank you very much. Hi, I'm going to be calling on Mr. Nirav now to answer this question for us. So the question is around, what are the top challenges when transitioning to an omni-channel contact center? I think really what we want to get at is a practical sort of example or illustration around, what people can expect, both the pros, both the cons, so that people have a well-rounded explanation on how to go into this journey. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mohammed, for that. Thank you all for joining this webinar. Yeah, so to answer the question, like what are the challenges? So in terms of challenges, like we can segregate the challenges is like mainly two categories. So like one is technological challenge and other is people, right? So if we talk about the technological challenge, so like the first most is like the infrastructure. So like are they ready to move to the existing one to the omnichannel contact center? So in that terms, like we have to upgrade the servers, we have to have the capabilities and everything. So the contact center infrastructures and related facilities needs to be there, right? So that will be the first most technical challenge. Then in terms of the bandwidth wise or in terms of the stability, right? So all those different aspects we have to taken into the consideration while we are moving to the omnichannel technology, right? And the second one, like if we talk about for the people part, so like there is always some kind of a, because we in terms of omnichannel if we talk about, so there are multiple channels are there that the agents has to handle, right? So your staff, your details has to be correct, right? So like it's not only the voice channel that you have to handle, you are going to handle the email, chat, SMS, then social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So all these different channels will be there and their different queues will be there. So you have to have the enough manpower for that, and you have to make sure that they also have the proper training and proper skill sets before you're trying to do the transitions, right? And if you talk about for the example scenario, so like the current systems are there, they have these different channels but they are not centralized. So that is the topmost challenge, you can also say. Like system organizations that use the systems are often faced with the multiple data entries efforts, and the data are often disconnected with the different customer data sets. Okay, so that makes it's very much difficult to report the accurate information, and you can that will further delay in enforcing the business process. Okay, so if we talk about for the omnichannel approach, it requires very different kind of a skill set than a traditional call center. So if we are going to have the transition or the to the standard to the omnichannel contact center, then we have to look for this different aspect, and we have to make sure that we have all the points checked before we do this process.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nirav. You really cut around talking about the challenges that you would have from a people perspective, also the challenges that you might have from a process and technology perspective. And I think the messaging there is that is the understanding of your current situation to be able to get to the ideal model, right? So thank you very much for that. At this juncture now, I would like to call on Titi to respond to this question. So the question is round about what are the top essential features of an omni-channel contact center solution? I think here we have elaborated on some of the features, but I think what we want to expand on, Titi, here is just looking at how some of these features will be able to benefit businesses just from a practical or use case type scenario. Thank you very much.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mohammed. The futures of an omni-channel contact center solution. One of them is having a simplified interface. When you have a simplified interface, your agents will be able to work with one another without disturbing them. So different features will work within the system. Like it has been said before, agents use an average of 8.6 different tools regularly. Sometimes they have like 23 interactions with their fellow agents and handle over like 130.5 different support interaction in a day. And it is stated that no wonder that the contact center's leader says the lack of an integrated agent desktop is their leading productivity challenge. So it means that the top 5 challenges that most agencies face when it comes to multi-channel agent centers is by having a common, they have a problem, which is handling of the calls that come in. So most of the time, the best thing is to have a simplified interface. This interface will provide information for the agents to access, and it will create a fewer barriers to actually find the customer histories that they need. The more equipped they are to solve the problem of the customers, and the faster it goes to deliver services around. Another major thing is integration. The best omni-channel contact centers are scalable. They are agile and robust enough to integrate with new technology as they pop up in the market. They work like large rivers and they integrate within themselves your customer data. When new services pop up, your vendors can partner with your IT teams to integrate them into a new omni-channel environment without the downtime that harm your services. That way, you still have a simple interface to house all your channels and customer data, which will be unified no matter how the customer contacts the agent. Everywhere is every action is being unified, be it through the device, the email, going there physically, making a phone call or chatting. Everything is integrated. So whoever has a previous information, if an agent is picking up, if you previously you had a chat with someone and you have information written already about you, if someone else is, if you're making a call, I'm very sure that the agent that is picking up that particular call already has the previous information about you. So there won't be any need for you to start bringing out your former transaction that you've done like this. Every information about you is unified and is integrated into the system. So with tight integration and an open APIs to share data through omni-channel contact center, make it easy to operate and make changes to your system as a customer. Then when you invest in new system or add more channels to your agent flow works, nothing has to change about what you're doing. Your data passes from system to system. And the main thing about omni-channel is being seamless. It's an operation that you run, nothing is disturbing you, no matter which of the channel you want to make use of. Everything goes seamless without putting the burden back on your already overwhelming team of agents. So the third one is reporting. An omni-channel contact center gives call center managers a comprehensive look into the performance of their teams without keeping data under lock or key. Instead of looking at performance by channel across disparate system, an omni-channel contact center platform bundle up your performance data across all channels and everything. This is by telling you that how your agents are performing, you're seeing it, what the customer, the information about the customer, what they want and how the agents are attending to them. Your report is bringing them out in a very simple form. A true omni-channel platform monitors data across every channel and pull information from other systems for easy reporting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Titi, for that in-depth explanation. We would now be moving on to our next panel questions, and this one goes to Mr. Nirav. And how would an omni-channel approach impact customer service staff in terms of their roles, skill sets, and training? I think you touched on this point already when you were explaining the initial question, but I think just use the opportunity again to shed some more light and also if there are any deployments that you have done, right, that and if there are any unique challenges, because I believe that the challenge that we'll have in Nigeria and the challenge that we'll have in different parts of the world might be different. But it will be interesting to understand what are some of those things that are coming out that are impacting on the customer service staffs in terms of their roles, skill set, and then training. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. Yeah, definitely. So every part of the world has their different problems and different overcoming of the approach, right? So basically, if we talk about their customer service staffs, right? So let me take a simplest example, right? So like if you have one particular person who is very good into the call part or the voice part, you can say, right? So he has a particular charm in talking to the people, but if you take that particular agent and you ask him to do the chat, so he might not perform well. So based on his skill set, like he's very much open to have the voice interactions rather than to have the SMS or chat interactions to the particular client, right? So we have to segregate this kind of a skill set, like which person, which agent is having more or proper skill set, or who is more efficient in which particular environment. So we have to have the proper training. We have to go through the particular product training, and then we have to also have the opinions from the agents and the supervisors, like which kind of approach they are more suitable into. So if we talk about for the omnichannel, as I said, like if it's voice, then it's only voice that matters. But if we talk about the omnichannel and centralized approach, okay, so in that the different, like we have to chat with the customers, you have to provide your comments like via FB or via Instagram, right? So all that is different aspect of having the customer services, right? So in that scenario, like it has to be a very open discussion with the agents. You have to identify a proper skill set. So for one example, like one agent, as I said, like he's very good in voice, but he cannot perform well in terms of the text based environment, right? So we have to identify, we have to put him to the calling part first, and then we have to give him a proper training for the SMS, for the chatting part, and for the commenting part, because that's how, like whatever your agents are going to do, that will represent your company, your customer service, and your customer service levels, right? So this is like a basic example I can take. Then you can have like certain people are very much open in terms of formal communications, or they can quickly bond and they can gel up with the customer over the chat, right? So we can have this kind of agents, and we can put them into one particular department who is going to handle the chatting facility, or who is going to facing the customer over the social media platforms. Like that is the first impact that your agents are going to put into your customers mind. So it is very much essential that you have your customers staffs, and they have the particular proper roles defined to them, whether they will be good into which particular communication channels. So we have to segregate those with the help of proper training, with the help of proper feedback. So, and we can have this kind of mutual understandings, and we can define the roles that will help us as a company, and we can grow our customer satisfaction onto the another level. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nirav, for that. I think you've really touched on some examples that would help us understand some of the approach and some of the challenges that we might experience in different parts of the world. I do agree that some people are very good in chatting, but they are not so good in voice communication. And you have the reverse as well. I mean, that's a good example. I like to see myself as I can do both. But just moving on to the next question, and this one I would like to call on Peace. What is the difference between the omni-channel? What is the difference between omni-channel and multi-channel contact center? Again, this has been discussed, and I think the approach that we are taking is just for more clarity. Thank you. Thanks, Peace.
All right, thank you very much, Mohammed. All right, they actually sound similar, and For a layperson, they might want to substitute or replace one for the other, but they are not in any way synonymous. They're not the same thing. The multi-channel and the omni-channel contact centers, they're two different concepts, although they have they're bundled up with the same kind of features, but they don't operate the same way. Multi-channel contact centers support two or more channels, which could be calls, it could be emails, could be chats, could be SMS, and could even incorporate social media channels as well, such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the likes. Yes, that sounds great, right? However, the different channels work independently of one another. That means that information on one channel is not automatically shared to support agents in other channels. The information in the various channels and the interactions, they pretty exist as silos. They're independent of one another. However, when we're talking about the omni-channel contact center, we're able to build seamless customer experience irrespective of the channel the customer chooses to interact with. Like you say, if I prefer to tweet at the brand I'm interested in, I should be able to get instant response, like someone who calls, who makes a voice call, who places a voice call. Some business leaders, they tend to say that they tend to say, for example, people on Twitter are savage people, they're not serious people, but we should the omni-channel contact center solution is able to treat every channel with the same level of importance and still have that same high level of customer experience to the clients trying to interface with the brand. In omni-channel contact centers, organizations apply business logic and service levels to ensure that every interaction delivers the best customer experience. Calls should don't necessarily have to be treated with much urgency than a Twitter DM as an example, or an Instagram DM. They should have the same with the omni-channel contact center. Everything, every interaction is treated with utmost importance. This is done by intelligently receiving and routing the interactions from all channels. That means instead of various channels existing as individual silos, all exist as a unified system under one umbrella with complete visibility of customers' interaction history. This is from end to end customer interaction history, all across all the channels. The agents become more effective, they're more efficient, and they're happy delivering their quality service to the customer. And like we talked about skill set, the agent is giving the service which he or she has received the requisite training on, and they're able to give the right information and resolve the queries as they come. There is great and seamless customer experience with the omni-channel contact centers. The customers are happier. There's less time spent in resolving queries. And I'm sure this of course results in more conversion for the business. That's ROI for the business, and I would say limitless opportunities because of the seamless customer experience. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Peace, for that. Mr. Nirav, do you have any additional comment? Thank you.
No, I guess Peace has covered almost everything, so that is pretty much as from my point of view as well. So yeah, that is pretty much straightforward observation. So Omnichannel is always better in terms of all the centralized information that you have at one place, and you can satisfy your customers, you can achieve great goals, and you can go further with your customer service levels as well with the help of Omnichannel. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the panel engagement. We hoping that our audience has taken one or two things away, and the discussions will continue. We'll continue, we evolve into machine learning, AI, and all that, because we know that we want to be able to do more for the client. We want to be able to understand our clients better as we serve them. So all those features and all those functionalities are something that we will continue to bring as we evolve. Now, we're going to move into a short poll. Please just take a few seconds to answer the poll. Thank you. Thank you very much for participating in the poll. We would now be moving into the Q&A section. Please, if you have any question, please send it to us. Otherwise, you can reach us on contact at thelearning-space.com. We're going to chat it shortly on the chat function. In the meantime, we have a few questions that we would like to take. So the first question is around about, we have a few questions to take. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. So we have a question. When you say multi-tenancy, do you mean having one omni-channel software installed, either on-prem or on the cloud, and then distributed to many parts of the country? So I'd like to call on Mr. Nirav to answer this question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mohammed. Yeah, so in terms of multi-tenancy, like if you are a service provider, right? So you can install that onto your on-premises server, or you can deploy it onto the cloud server, whatever suits you best. Okay, and once you do the installations as a super admin, as the main admin, you can create multiple tenants as much as you like. Okay, and then once you create those accounts, your customers or the tenants will access that particular part with the help of internet access. They have their own username, passwords, they have their own login IDs, right? So based on that, they can access anywhere from the world. So you can host it on a centralized server, otherwise you can have it onto your on-premises as well. So basically as per the requirement of your service need, you can deploy it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. We have some questions that we are getting, but it seems as if we have already answered some of this already. But however, just to elaborate on the point that was just made, we are able to, the solution is able to be deployed, you know, on-prem and on the cloud. And also, if you have a particular business continuity requirement, right, this kind of deployment model would also be very, very useful, right? In a sense that you can have a business continuity, right? When, for example, there's an act of God, or there's a tsunami, or there's a crisis, you can, most of the contact centers are considered critical services, right? So since they are critical services, they would already put business continuity plan. Some organization goes into setting up your industry standard organization for business continuity, just to make sure that ISO 22001 or thereabouts, just to make sure that business continuity, continues, right? From that perspective, I stand to be corrected on the ISO particular code. But however, the point there is that there's an ISO, code or standard for business continuity that most businesses have to put in place to guarantee that they have reliability and all that. So basically, what we are saying here is that this model also supports the business continuity scenario as well, right? It also supports if you have a backup requirement. Some organizations are required to make sure that they have multiple instance backup and all that. Also, that kind of model would also support it as well from that perspective. But we play both from an infrastructure perspective, both from a hardware perspective, software perspective. We're able to bring all that together, and I think that is what makes HoduSoft quite well positioned, because they are playing at the software layer, right? Remember, in as much as we are saying data is the new oil, software as well, software orchestration, software management, and all that also is now the one driving a whole lot of engagement at the hardware layer. So this is also very, very important to mention. So thank you very much, everyone, so far for your attentiveness on this webinar. You are free to reach us, on our website, and also on our Facebook page and LinkedIn, and you can also send us an email as well. From that perspective, we would like to thank everyone, all the panelists. We would like to thank you. We would like to thank Peace Inform for the demo. Thank you very much. I would like to thank Titi, just to explaining some of those points. Titi has even experience as well, fielding customer-related requests, and I'm sure that she's grounded as well with some of the challenges that are happening, especially at the customer level. Thank you very much. Thanks, Mr. Nirav, sorry, for also grazing and supporting us during this engagement. We look forward to having more webinar series, bringing you this particular topic, which is on-premise or on the cloud, revolutionizing customer journey management with HoduCC Omni Channel Software. Very, very important topic we have brought to you today. We hope that we continue to engage on this particular topic. If you require any training services, you can also reach out to us to provide to work you on that journey. If you require more demo sessions, more engagement in terms of making the decisions towards using the omni-channel Hudo contact center solution, please reach out to us. Like we say, there are several solutions that are available on this spectrum. So thank you again. My name is Kabiru Mohammed Aliyu, and thank you for your time. Cheers all.